Hello, friends, and welcome to the Console Overwatch multi-tier tournament. My name is Bullskunk alongside Chef Billy, and we have got a double-header coming at you today this fine Sunday evening. We're going to start off in the Tier 2 division with Saga Genesis taking on Tidal Tsunami. Billy, how have these teams looked coming into Week 4?
Well, Saga Genesis is coming in on a 2-1 series record with a 5-7 map point differential, a -2 map point differential for them. First week they took care of Solo 3-2. In week number 2, they unfortunately got swept 0-4 by Neptune Oceanus. And then last week they came back, rallied the troops together, and came out on top of Mythos Eros 2-1-1. On the other side, Tidal Tsunami coming in 0-3 on the young season here as we head into the second third of the season with a 4-8 map point differential. So they're getting points, but they just haven't been able to get over that hump yet. First week, Prophets Visionaries, they go down 1-3. Pyro, they go down 1-2-1. And then last week in a thriller that we saw here on the Bullskunk channel, they went down in the last map 2-3 to Neptune Oceanus. So I think they've got a chip on their shoulder. And it's the Lucy versus Pockle show. So I'm kind of happy to see this because they're two of the bigger people in our community. Lucy being the Overwatch lead and Pickles being one of the mostest extra mods that we've ever had in the CGL, and I love him to death.
Mostest extras.
It's the mostest extrasis, yes. So, that being said, we've got a good set of maps here today starting in Oasis.
With a nice little underlining of personal rivalry, but not so much rivalry, but fun rivalry.
Oh, yeah. It's a fun rivalry. I mean, there's loads of respect between the two, so it's wholesome. It's wholesome banter. I love it.
Just to give you guys an idea, they're taunting each other with their icons here in the lobby as we speak. It's fantastic. Good stuff. Good stuff.
It's wholesome.
It's wholesome. It's simply wholesome. All right.
But, so, I mean, I want to get to hero bands first.
Okay, hero bands. Well, hey, whatever you want to go to first. You do you.
Okay.
I'm prepped. I'm ready. You pick a screen. We're going there.
Zarya is out for the week, as well as Pharah and Symmetra. But the biggest impact on the hero bands this week by far, and I think you can agree with me on this, Bullskunk, is Lucio being gone.
Oh, yeah.
The speed is just not there. The beat drops are just not there. And it feels like something's missing from the game. And I feel like I've been missing that from the game, all the games that we've casted this week. The Brazilian being gone, and teams are really struggling to find what works in its stead. So then, map pool. We're going to start out on Oasis, make our way to Numbani, which has been a nutty map all week for all the teams concerned. We did see what I would call our play of the week. It's clipped up on Bullskunk's channel. The 6-man tire from Dank.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Thursday. That was a good one. And then Volskaya and Route 66 will close us out unless we do happen to go to a tiebreaker. And then we're going to go to China at Lijiang Tower. So, Bullskunk, I would go ahead and get us in here, get us going.
Absolutely.
But, what I want to see. Yeah. I'm interested to see how these teams come out. Tank line, first of all. Both tank lines are very coordinated in their attacks. I really like Soul Leader Queen on the Orisa. I've seen a lot of play out of that player, and very fundamentally sound. Not too aggressive. Great halts, great usage of Supercharger as well. On the other side, Lucy anchoring her team. She is one of the better supports in the Tier 2 division. And I really want to see her come out and just dictate the flow of play, healing coming through her. And that's my biggest thing that I want to take away from this right now.
4, 3, 2,
well, it looks like we are going to get Saga starting us off with the Orisa Sigma. While Tidal opting for the Reinhardt Diva here right out of the gate. As we are moving into City Center to open things up here in our doubleheader. Saga pathing around towards the jump jet. Looks like they're going to go up to the high ground. Tidal opting to stay down low. They're just going to hold on the back in a center pillar here. And they had the positional advantage. All they have to do is get entrenched, and this Orisa Sigma combination is going to have to move eventually. They are going to go ahead and drop down, put some pressure in on this left side. Junkrat Soldier, their DPS option here on the side of Saga. The Soldier staying up top with the Torb turret. That's right, the Junkrat is there on the side of Tidal, who goes down, is going to be first to fall. Res is available for them, as they did opt for the Mercy versus the Brig on the other side. D.Va's going to have to go and try and put some pressure onto that Soldier, forced back down. But Coalescence, first ultimate used here in tonight's matchup, coming out of Bay Area there on the side of Tidal. And then Lord Nick going to come through, find Lucy on the Junkrat. First real kill of our match here. D.Va is going to get demeched and deleted on the other side. So back to a 5v5 here on the objective. Tidal pushing forward, looking to tilt this balance here, picking up 2 kills. Res coming back in through onto the Moira. But I think this advantage going over to Saga, and this point's going to go that way as well.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of a contest here, but I mean, you got to get out of there. You got to go ahead and or disengage and get out of there with as much loss of life minimized as possible. Right now, you know, the double shielding coming from Saga is what's winning them this battle right now. Even though, you know, Lord Nitwick on the Junkrat is doing a ton of work against the double shielding. It's just not enough to break through right now, and Cello is not able to divide and conquer as he would normally want to, seeing a Reinhardt in there. So I mean, it's a bit of a compositional chess game right now, and you've got to play your cards right against this double shielding.
Sticking with the May as Saga, or as Tidal comes back in here, runs right into a Gravitic Flux coming out of Soul Eater. That found several members. Follow up not quite there. Tidal able to fall back into the love embrace of their healers. Their Coalescence now coming out from Bay Area. The second of the match coming out of that character. Blizzard thrown into the mix as well. Tybolt's going to fall. Arrow's still frozen. Somehow able to escape, but the Mercy not so lucky. The Moira join them right back in spawn, and Saga holding on here on City Center, maintaining control with 58% and counting on the board.
You know, that was a really interesting combo of ults there. Soul Eater Queen throwing in the Gravitic Flux underneath Urboros's Molten Core, and actually did a ton of damage coming down out of that slam. So, I mean, a couple of big ults out from Saga there. I wonder what kind of a response we're going to see from Tidal here.
Well, Simmons just ran up to the high ground, said, I'm tired of this, I'm going to clean this off personally. Puts his hammer to good use. Now he's jumping down, getting aggressive against the rest of the team. Here comes the reinforcements to join him as they look to press this assault. Brig goes down, now turning their attention onto the Moira. She's not going to last long in there. No Faye, no chance to get away. And after a little bit of cleanup, it looks like Tidal will eventually turn this thing, but not a moment too soon. Overtime Wick already burning here in City Center.
I mean, there is that is a lot of damage coming out from Tidal. Tsunami there. Late exit kill for D.Va X Widow onto the Sigma of Soul Eater Queen. But you've got a 3-pack of ultimates online for the recontesting team of Saga. But on the other side, also a 3-pack of ultimates ready to go. I wonder if Cello is going to be able to get the Blizzard up before they start committing all these ultimates, because that's going to be something that's going to be able to zone them out and keep this progress meter moving for them.
Cello's going to have to put some work in to get that Blizzard up here. Anything before early mid-fight. Both support ultimates available on both teams, like you're saying. So this one could be interesting. We do have Saga getting themselves entrenched up top once again. Getting their 2 DPS players positioned up there. See if they can find a good opening pick here. Lord Netwick able to get that tire up pretty quickly here in the start of this fight. He's going to go ahead and throw that one in. Opts to run past the Brig, going right up to that high ground. You're going to have to be careful of that turret. It does indeed take it out. Meanwhile, down to the front line, we did have a D.Va Bomb coming out from Tidal as the front line of Saga was pushing in there. Tybolt gets taken down. They're going to continue to press this attack. Molten Core comes out. That lands over quite a few members of Tidal there. D-Met coming through. Sabus whittled down very low back in that left corner. Lucy's going to go ahead and invest that Coalescence. Sabus going down. Now you do have Saga pressing the assault back all the way towards the cars. Here comes the Blizzard back the other way. Soul Leader frozen stiff and is going to get charged right back into spawn. Slice did answer back with 1 kill of their own. And this is turned into a 4v4 here on the objective. Nice haul coming through. Baby Diva goes down. Here comes a Desperation Earthshatter, but he was sitting at like 10 health, running into the tac visor from the other side. And this is going to be Saga flipping this thing over. And as the overtime wake starts to burn down, I don't know if his recontest is going to come through here from Tidal.
I don't know unless I can switch to a ball. I mean, Cello does get on the point and is in the middle of the thing. Not able to ice block, so that's a huge loss right there. You've got to press the button to get yourself into ice block.
Yeah, and then the 2v6 quickly dealt with. The tanks don't have time to get back here before the DPS are already gone. Now it's just a lone Reinhardt on point. Overtime wick will burn. And a 1-0 lead. Start things off here for Saga.
Yeah, that's a bit of a head scratcher, not getting that ice block set in the middle there. Also, the tire from Lord Nitwick in the mid fight, he kind of passed it around. He had the ability to take out the Brigida that had rally in hand, not able to use that as well. So, I mean, also for our own purposes here, it's Lucy 1, Pickle 0 because she kind of fried him with her coalescence. So it's 1-0 Lucy over Pockle right now.
Oh my goodness, Billy over there with the bingo card. All right, headed into University. Looks like we are going to get Saga going over to a Reinhardt, a recent composition with the Reaper May in the damage department. Zapdos sticking with the Brig here. On the other side, Pickles on the Mercy once again. Res coming through, or res available here for Tidal. And looks like they're going to need it as Sebas goes down early. Charges in, headlong into death. And that's a quick disadvantage here for Tidal as they look to press on. Diva Widow is frozen up as they move to control the high ground, trying to get their Junkrat and Ash positioned up here respectively, which they do, but they've relinquished control of the point.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a bit of a head scratcher. That charge was ill-advised. He ended up getting shield bashed by Zapdos on the Brigida, and he was quickly dispatched. So feeding into it a little bit, you got to watch where your team is pathing to. I think they have had a communication error there.
Well, now the rest of Tidal have come and joined their team up on the high ground. Saga with an interesting just poising right beneath them, and then finally the move is made, and the move is Sebas running into a bunch of death yet again. First to die here on the side of Tidal. Tsunami Coalescence invested from Lucy. Burns down Bay Area on the opposite side. Only ult needed there for Saga to maintain control. 39% and counting on the board.
That's a bit much to digest. I think that Sebas is maybe being a little bit over-aggressive, trying to press the point a little bit too much before his team is entirely ready to go in there. But that's a good entry pickup from Lord Nitwick onto Zapdos.
We do have Earthshatter coming out here on the side of Saga. There was a Junkrat tire from the other side, but it was no match. Saga ready for it. Eberos taking it down, following up with a couple of kills there to back up that Earthshatter. And once again, Saga investing minimal ults and maintaining control at this point. Still holding on to that Blizzard. Coming up on a Death Blossom as well.
Absolutely. And, you know, the ult discipline being shown right now is really quite good. I think that a coordinated effort getting in there with the Diva underneath ended up getting her mech back. So this is a good push. Initiating with this Coalescence, but a big wall coming up from Urboros.
Here comes the Blizzard out right now. As soon as that wall goes down, the Blizzard goes up. But Sebas charging it into the backline, throws a 180 shatter down onto the Orisa. This is the follow-up there. Slice coming through, defending his team with a big Death Blossom. Finding 3 after all is said and done. And this overtime wick is going to burn, and this is going to be a clean 100-0 here for Saga, taking a 1-0 lead in tonight's matchup.
Oh man, they pressed Y. They maintained their ultimate advantage. Weathered the Coalescence with a very sweet wall coming out from Urboros there, and then just throwing it into the Blizzard. I mean, it's such a game-changing ult. And then everybody pressed Y. That was a really good, measured Death Blossom coming from Slice here. So as we go looking at the next map, which is going to be Numbani, I got to think about what kind of DPS Tidal are going to swap to kind of mirror or overpower what Saga is putting out there right now. And the heal battle, I mean, Lucy is keeping her team up no problem right now.
Right.
Pickle's doing a pretty damn good job on his own there. But, I mean, it's just the concentrated healing that you're seeing from Lucy, keeping her tanks up in the middle of all these charges, is something that they need to really initiate on or focus down. Also, you know, the DPS for Tidal seems a little bit impotent right now, and that's the word I want to use because they're getting zero value really out of what they're running. That's 2 destroyed tires for Lord Nitwick in 2 maps. And if you're going to keep playing the rat, then you've got to get some kind of value out of those because it's not there right now. Also, you know, Urbros going over to the May there, absolutely stonewall what they were trying to run, and I mean that little hero puts in so much work. So I'm gonna get us into our next, or I'm gonna swap us over to our next Mac as I'm waiting for subs to come in. But Bullskunk, I mean the tank line also a little bit of overzealousness, I guess I would say, coming from Sebastbot sometimes. I'm not sure what some of those charges were. I understand you're trying to change the game in one fell swoop, but if your team can't follow up behind what you're doing, it's kind of a wasted move.
Well, and you know, perhaps it's just not used to missing the Zarya, not used to missing the Lucio, having those things that can typically back up a Reinhardt, bail him out of that situation, and you're not, failing to adjust their strategy according to what is going on in the hero pools and how they've had to make changes in the tank lineup. I mean, if you're going to run with the D.Va, you've got to play with that D.Va a little bit more, I think. You've got to play a little bit more passive. Also with the DPS usage. You know, you were showing us Ashe and Junkrat there on University, but then trying to get very aggressive with your tank play. You need to give room for those DPS to do their jobs before you go in, I think, is... I mean, whether the Ashe coming through with a pick or putting pressure down and corralling the team into a spot where you can then collapse on them, or allowing the Junkrat to break through. There were double shield on the other side in the name of Arisa Reinhardt. That was, right the first time there. But point being, I mean, you've got to either find a way to crack through the shields or find an opening pick before getting into aggressive, because you don't have the up-close and personal brawl there. They weren't bringing. They were running into a Brig, and they weren't bringing a Brig. You're running into a Reaper with nothing really to counter it. I mean, the DM was the best you could hope for, but then you're hoping on you've got to kill that Reaper as soon as you run out of defense matrix. So perhaps just a little unfamiliarity with what the comp was trying to do there, with the strategy of that composition that they're running.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's just I mean, if you're going to run the Ashe in that situation, you've got to be damage boosting that hero the entire time, because there's really no use in it, because the Dynamite's not really doing much against. You're throwing it against a shield, or 2 shields, or a fortified Arisa that can sustain herself and mitigate the damage coming into her as it's happening. So, you know, as I look at it, the hero picks were just a little bit wonky coming out from Tidal there. But, I mean, it is a young match right now. Swaps can be made. Changes can be made. And we can be going into Numbani with a completely different set of theory on what they're going to do. And I do have a substitute coming in. Semblo is coming in for Cello in the DPS spot. So maybe there's the change that they were looking for right there, bringing in a new person onto the squad. As we look at Numbani, they're going to start out on the attack, and I'm hoping to see a little bit different.
You know, everybody has an off day.
Yep.
You know, and every team, has different map types that they're good at, that they're strong at. So perhaps control is just not Tidal's thing. Maybe they're better on the more attack-defense style maps here.
Mm-hmm.
As we will be heading into Numbani for map number 2. So, like you said, momentum not insurmountable right now. Saga's definitely got a little bit in their favor after that 2-0 to start things off. But definitely room for Tidal to just jump right back into this thing, especially with a strong showing here on Numbani. They're hoping to send us into halftime all tied up.
I mean, it's what I'm looking forward to. I think that Semblo coming in here now, because I mean, Lord Nitwick was getting some value with the rat. Let me walk back what I said. It's just his ultimate usage was what was lacking. So, I mean, he was breaking shields. He was definitely pressuring the shields of both Soul Eater Queen and Tybalt. But you have to be mindful of one kill can change a fight. That's something that we've been taught. That's Overwatch 101. One kill can change a fight completely. And if you are trying to get that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-man tire every single time, you're doing your team a disservice.
And we'll definitely keep an eye on Lord Nitwick as he goes back over to the Junkrat here, see if he can find any more value out of those ripped tires, as well as on this front line. We'll see how the tanks adjust as we head into map number 2. Tidal starting us off on the attack here and wasting no time, pushing right through the underground of the hotel lobby directly onto the objective. Saga waiting him up on the high ground. Coming in with an Orisa D.Va composition here for the defense, so they're trying to bunker up in this bottom corner.
Ooh.
D.Va not able to eat all the damage necessary there to keep her in mech, and she's going to go down. Nice fire strike coming through. He's going to finish off Tybalt on the Orisa, and this is a much better start coming out of Tidal Tsunami.
Oh hell yes! This is so much better than what we saw from Tidal in the last round. I think maybe Semblo is the key. Maybe the synergy is what they were lacking on that last map. So I mean, good stuff coming out here from Tidal right now. They just got some cleanup work to do, and it's going to be their point.
Yeah, they did invest both of their support ultimates there at the end to clean up the remaining DPS and healers from the other side. Some late Saga kills coming through. Good sign there for Tidal as they start their run down into streets. Looks like they've got Earthshatter online as well as that Riptire.
Yeah, Sebas actually put a lot of work into that last fight. He got a couple of really huge fire strikes and just went in and just decided, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to play passive. I'm going to play with my team, and I'm just going to swing my shield or my hammer, keep my shield up when I need to, and they're already halfway through here.
They are running into 2 DPS ultimates on the other side. Slice taking up the high ground here, see if he can prevent them from coming across this next turn. But here comes Nitwick's tire, his first of this match. Can he find anything with it? Right into the Torb once again. No! Again, it gets taken down. Ebero's right there, devaluing that ultimate. Nevertheless, Tidal not slowed down, as they're going to continue to try to press this thing around. We are getting the Amp Matrix as well as Molten Core coming out from the other side. Ebero's already able to find one. Diva Bomb coming in response, taking out Zapdos there in the far back. And Bay Area finding himself a pick onto the main tank of all characters. And it looks like Tidal still maintaining to find some room to work here. Despite losing their Junkrat early, Coalescence coming out here at the end of the fight. 2 points on the board.
This is lightning fast coming through Streets Face, so a complete 180 from what we saw from last match. And I think that they are just playing better together as a team. They were a little disjointed in Oasis, but now, oh no, they're completely clicking on all cylinders here. So this is good showing from Tidal.
Diva Bomb coming in and open things up from Saga. Immortality Field there. They did force out the Wraith form from Tom Semblo, who does have that Death Blossom, so he's got to wait for that cooldown to come back before he's going to try to get too aggressive here and find use out of his ultimate. Supercharger coming out on the side of the defense, keeping Tidal in check as they round this final corner of Numbani. All coming through, but a massive shatter as he falls back to the ground, and then here comes the Death Blossom. Tom finding 2 with that. What a great play. What a great combination coming through from Tidal Tsunami. They're cleaning up the back at this point, and they can smell victory here just looking at the final resting place here on point C. We did get Molten Core coming out on the side of the defense, but Tac Visor there, able to help clean up a little bit as well. It will be enough to halt this aggression coming through from Tidal. Ball stall coming through. Brick coming back out. You just have the 2 supports and that Wrecking Ball here on the objective. Bomb coming through from the attackers. It's time to looking to close some room, create a little space to work, but they still have 5 of their 6 members here on the objective and still managing to find some kills. Doomfist coming back through. Eberos seeing if he can stall this thing out at the very end, trying to be the hero Saga needs on the final point here of Numbani. But Lord Nitwick coming up with 2 kills, able to clean up here on the back end. Tidal maintaining their control Another Earthshiner coming through from Sabus in this fight. Another Death Blossom to combo with it. And 2 more kills under Tom's belt here. And with just a mere 3.5 meters to go, fight continuing to come out of Saga. Stall continuing to come through. Coalescence invested from both sides. Pulse Bomb now coming out on the side of Slice. If Everest can make it back into the fight, he'll have that Meteor Strike to work with. Tidal super close to mines, and now we're getting the Ant Matrix coming through on the other side. The attacking team trying to find the damage they need to close this thing out, but it seems like Saga just won't go down. Now it is Tidal getting aggressive. Mines coming online. Arrow's throwing that Meteor Strike into the back. Finds nothing. Gets taken out for his trouble. Nice kite coming through from Tidal. Now they look to come back with another assault. Tidal dropping those mines into the back. Diva Bomb combined with them as well. Sabus right there with the shielding. And here comes the tire from the other side. Will this be the one to crack it open? No! Another tire falling. I'll get it out eventually. To the wayside there for Lord Nitwick. Nevertheless, he's going to find the kill onto Zapdos. Pickles finds himself one as well. And as this thing has managed to draw out, Coalescence being used here at the end, it does look like Tidal once again coming out on top. But yet more stalls coming through. No. Negate that. 2.5 minutes on the clock, 3 points on the board.
They just blew through 3 minutes of that time bank that they started point C of Numbani with.
I think every last minute of it was in that final fight.
Yeah, absolutely, because they had no answer for them around the corner. Bringing the stall compound, Tybalt on the wrecking ball, putting in a butt ton of work there. Also, Lucy Willis, a little bit of an unsung hero in that one, playing on the Brigitte, using her flail, using her shield bash to stun people out of using their abilities a couple of times. So, man, 2 minutes, 25 seconds, though. That is a pretty healthy time bank for Tidal. Definite 180. I love to see the fight back. I love to see the tenacity coming out of a team that maybe didn't do their best on the first map, and they came out here and said, no, that's not who we are. That's not Tidal. We got lots of fight in us. Big immortality barriers coming out from Pickles during that fight. Bay Area keeping her team up with the coalescences. I mean, she was basically had it on cooldown there. In the last fight, it was like every 20 seconds we saw the lasers coming out. Sebastbot also playing better with his team that time and putting down some massive BDE with that Earth Shatter. And Tom Semblo, the substitute, coming in with a couple of big Death Blossoms. So, but on the other hand, Lord Nitwick is still missing his tires. He didn't get a shot down to that last tire that he got, and he got an offer on it. And I'm scratching my head right now.
Right, so far, no kills coming through on Rip Tires for Lord Nitwick here in either of our two maps. Nevertheless, still a good time for Tidal as they go on the defense, looking to hold, hoping they can tie up this match. Sigma Reinhardt, the front line here, as they try to defend this high ground. We're going to get the Orisa Sigma combination looping around through Coast. As Saga trying to come back in on point one, see if they can equalize. We have to be careful that Junkrat's sitting up on the high ground. Okay, nope, Nitwick is going to go ahead and back up with the rest of his team. I thought he had a pretty good positioning there. Gave up that opportunity to pour some damage down into the back line. Hulk coming through, trying to combine it with the rock, but shielding right on top of things. No damage coming through. Maywall coming up, and Tom Sello caught in a little bit of a weird spot there. Excuse me, Tom Simblo. He was able to race form out. No damage done. Still no kills on the board, but slowly, inch by inch, Saga gaining some space here, and now the fight is around the cart itself. Good ulting of shielding coming from the attacking team, but first kill coming through. Lord Nitwick picking off the Moira on the other side. Primary source of healing gone here for Saga, and that is the cue for the defense to move in, clean up this attack, and they are going to push Saga back here on their initial assault.
That was some crazy good kiting from Tidal there. The Maywalls were actually helping Tidal more than Saga. With the one exception of Tom Semblo being kind of pinned between them, but he can just wraith out of that. Lord Nitwick is actually blasting his way from corner or rooftop to rooftop here, trying to get the best perch that he can. And so far, I mean, he got the initial kill onto Lucy Willis, so that took her out of the fight initially.
And that was definitely an important pick. You take the healing out, and boom, sustain just plummets. Now it looks like Saga, after a failed attempt up top, they're going to path around low once again. Tidal ready for him. The Sigma dropping down early. All right, here's another tire coming out. Still no value. Shot down by the Orisa. But the Orisa does pay the price as Pickles comes in, finds a good kill, catching the off angle onto Tidal. Coalescence coming out on the side of Saga. They look to push in, but they get pushed up, slammed down. Soul Eater taken out for his trouble as Tom Simblo coming through big on this Reaper. Putting the shotguns to good use. Now trying to turn the attention onto the Brig. Brig goes down. Everos goes down with the Blizzard in her pocket. And this assault once again getting shut down here as Tidal maintaining the control. Just 75 seconds on the clock.
This is great news for Tidal right now. I mean, getting a full hold would put all the wind in their sails. They take us into intermission 1-1. However, we do have almost a 6-pack or a 5-pack of ults on the side of Saga. So we got to really be looking at that. But another failed tire. Eek.
We do have both support ults as well as a Death Blossom code. I'm not too far behind that here for the defense. Blizzard to start things off. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot in that radius. Earthshatter coming out from the other side. Finds Eberos, but Sebas drops into a bad position, and he gets deleted immediately. Nano Boost goes down. On to Diva Widow, the last standing tank here for the defense. And we're going to see if, no, as I say it, the Reaper goes down, standing right in the middle of the objective. Looks like Diva Widow going to get chased out. I'm just going to call him DW from here on in, not to confuse y'all with any of the character names here in Overwatch. DW deleted on the Sigma there, and we will get a point on the board here for Saga.
Lord Nickwick actually tried to take a 1v1 versus the Sigma, got a rock in the face, and then he ended up getting out of there with his life. Man, that was a strange little sequence of maneuvers there.
Maywall coming up, trying to divide off the front line. Lord Netwick taking a stab at another tire here. This one dropping in from above, looking more promising. That one finds two. That's what you want to see out of your rip tires, is both tanks fall to the explosion. On the side of Saga, and the defense, based off of that, will make their stance here on the front corner of point B.
And now look at Tom Simblo. He is taking the up ground. He knows that Hanzo's up there. Oh, no, he doesn't know that Hanzo's up there.
Oh! Arrow to the dome. Oh, man. And Tom Simblo goes ragdoll up on the high ground with that Reaper in his pocket, or with the Death Blossom in his pocket. Sly still with those Dragons online. He's going to toss those across the front of the bus. What a great shot. Forcing back the members of the other side. The Moira, the Reinhardt, they cannot escape. They cannot retreat in time. Taken out by Eberos and company as Saga continues to press the assault here through point B, taking up position on the back victory square.
Oh, man. And okay, maybe there's a little bit of revenge here coming for, yo! Watch this. Pickles! 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 Pickles, you gotta kill him! You can't stand there and teabag him! Come on, Pickles!
Oh, Pickles got too excited up there. It's unfortunate I don't have a quick bind there for the auto. All right, now we're getting dually coalescence on the point. Gravitic Flux on the side of the defense. That finds two. Will the follow-up be there? Eberos with a nice wall to deny said follow-up. Here comes the Earthshatter from the other side. 3 people caught in that, but there is a rally online. It's only to respond with a big Gravitic Flux. Taking 2 out. In fact, taking the 2 tanks out. And that will be enough to get this thing started down towards point C. They'd already had a second point on the board there during that engagement.
Oh, man. Okay, so Tom Simblo is showing a huge amount of ultimate discipline because he's had this Death Blossom online for a minute.
It's dangerously close to being too picky.
Indeed. I agree with that. You got to let it go at some point.
Well, I mean, I was about to say have Beyblade available, but it looks like the Nano Boost going on to the Reinhardt. Tank's getting aggressive, trying to find that Orisa. Fort coming out. Heals are there. Tybalt still standing. No, I cursed you, buddy. Tybalt drops just as soon as I say his name. Saga going to go ahead and throw a Blizzard into the mix and see if they can strike back here. They've got Samus frozen up. They've got Bay Area down. Samus drops as well. Now Tom Simblo there still opts to not use that Death Blossom. And Saga pulling that fight out of the trenches and emerging victorious despite going down too early. And now, already a minute behind in the time, but threatening to push this thing across and get that 3rd point on the board. Stall starting to come through. Rip Tire, Earthshatter coming out. Tire not making it back to the fight in time before Saga's able to get back standing. Still, nevertheless, finds 2 there in the far back. Now Simblo coming back onto the objective. He's going to pick up 1 on making his way back in. This Death Blossom, well, better be perfect for as long as you've been holding it. Never mind, doesn't even need it. Defense will make their stance. 48 seconds on the clock. One last attack here for Saga.
Yeah. One last attack, but they've got almost a 5-pack of ultimates here. So this is going to be an ult extravaganza. That's your word. I can't steal it from you because you already made it. But
I'm sure I stole it from somebody else.
you may also get the coalescence and the Diva Bomb if it goes that long. We need to see what happens here.
Rally to start things off. Soul Leader coming around with a flank. Gravitic Flux. That's going to take down Sebas. 2 quick kills coming through for Everos as he puts an icicle right between the eyes of Bay Area. Dragon's invested as well, as Diva's the last standing member of Tidal here, trying to defend this thing. Does not last long. Cart is moving forward. Here come the stall characters. Lord Nitwick onto the Tracer. Wrecking Ball coming out as well. Wrecking Ball running into a bunch of ice. Speaking of, there's a blizzard on the field coming here from Saga as well. We do still have Symbolo with the Death Blossom. It eventually comes out, but he immediately dies. No value coming from that ultimate that he held on to for so long. We did get the Coalescence and a Diva Bomb coming out on the side of the defense. But so far, Saga able to weather the storm of the Ult Extravaganza coming through here from Tidal, and they are finding the kills. Now, we got the Ant Matrix, I'm sorry, the Immortality Field coming out as Baptiste is back into the mix, and there is the Ant Matrix that I was anticipating a moment ago. But Maywall there to defend the value coming through from that. Dragon's thrown over the top of it as well. Tidal not able to get in position, not able to take advantage of these ultimates, and now it's just the 2 tanks left on the point. Moira coming back in, trying desperately to heal up those 2 tanks, trying to stay in this fight as long as possible, and they've managed to whittle it down into overtime. So the best that Saga can hope for is a draw here. Great defense coming through in the end there for Tidal, despite 3 points on the board there for Saga Genesis.
Yeah, and Tom Sembolo, if you can hear this, you held on to that way too long, and then you got stunned out of your ultimate, and then domed by Slice. Yeah, you kind of telegraphed that Death Blossom a little bit too much. But I mean, still good work coming from the side of Saga Genesis to get 3 points on the board here. However, 2 minutes 25 seconds to get 33%, based upon what we saw on the first attack for Tidal there. I think they absolutely come out with a headbanger of a match. And yeah, I'm going to give the slight edge to them because I mean they did do such a great amount of work, but the stall that we saw there on their attack that they were presented with, taking 3 minutes off the clock. So it could go either way here, ladies and gentlemen. It could be a draw here. I'm going to give the slight edge to Tidal here, though, just based upon what I see them coming out with. If Semblo comes out and does what he did on the first point last time, then it's going to be GG's. We're going 1-1 into halftime.
Well, defense open for the Torb Soldier once again here. Something we saw from them back on Oasis. They were using that on City Center to control high ground. They're going to do something similar here to try to full hold for 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Tidal need 33% to tie up this match. I do like this Reaper Junkrat combo that you were speaking of, going back to the Reinhardt Diva as well. Tidal pushing down through the low ground, and they're just going to move right on to the objective. Force the fight here on point. It's exactly where they want it. They've got a Junkrat, they've got a Reaper. They are daring Saga to come fight them up close and personal. So far, they're content to just sit back and put damage in from the high ground, though no kills coming through just yet. Immortality Field has now been used. Big cooldown missing there on the side of Tidal. They can't stand there forever. They've got to put the pressure down. Nitwick! Oh, but Nitwick answers. And he finds himself 2 kills as they do get aggressive, and that aggression working out great for him. They will take Numbani. They will tie us up 1-1 as we head into the half.
Well, Mr. Lord Nitwick, you have redeemed yourself, young man, as you have go ahead and clutched out this first point, getting up in their face and throwing a couple concussion mines into their faces and getting 2 picks. That was the tidal wave, or the tsunami, dare I say, that started that capture of the overtime map there in Numbani. So, man, Lord Nitwick, coming up big there, clutch for his team in the end. I hope that he goes into the practice range during our little intermission and does a little tire practice, because he landed one. he landed one, but yeah, I mean, he's like 1 for 6 right now. So, yeah, got to get a little better economy out of that rip tire. But that being said, Tidal does come roaring back and gets themselves level here in the series as we go to Volskaya after our intermission. Volskunk, I mean, they're playing so even. It's just one pick here or there that is the difference between these two teams. Wouldn't you agree?
I would definitely agree. I like the aggression coming out of Tidal there in map 2. Definitely need to work on their DPS ultimates, the both of them, from what I can tell. Just a little bit more coordination, I think. A little bit better planning on we're going to go in here and do this. And, perhaps they're going in with the plans and the plans falling apart as soon as the engagement breaks out. That happens. Nevertheless, somehow they've got to find more value out of their DPS ultimates if they want to get back into this thing. I mean, the support line on both teams doing a great job, and I think the edge there goes to Saga. So I'm expecting for Tidal to rely and fall back on that aggression, looking a lot more coordinated there in map 2, but we'll see if they can get through the discipline and sustain that we've seen out of Saga Genesis.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will figure out the answer to those burning questions as we will return from halftime here in just a couple moments. We'll see you on Volskaya. Y'all don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back, my friends, to the Console Overwatch multi-tier tournament. We are here at halftime with a Tier 2 matchup between Saga Genesis and Tidal Tsunami. 1-1, all tied up as we are heading into our Assault map this week, which will be Volskaya. Volskaya Industries, typically one of the more preferred Assault maps, definitely one of my preferred Assault maps. I don't know about you, Billy.
I love the map. There's so much that you can do.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Saga starting us off strong with a 2-0 victory there on Oasis. But Tidal bringing it back, putting up good hold there at the end of Numbani to send into overtime, give themselves some room to work there in the extra innings, as they just needed that precious 33%, and that they got. Allowed them to tie us up here. Heading into map 3, we've seen a lot of Reinhardt Diva on the side of Tidal, and I think this could be a good map for that. Able to control some high ground. But we'll see what they bring in. What do you anticipate we might see here as we head into Volskaya Industries, Billy?
More of the same. It looks like the tanks are pretty content to stay what they've started with. But we saw some stall characters come out. I think that the DPS lineup of Tidal got better that time. Lord Ditwick doing good. Still missing, 2 out of 6 tires. I'm so sorry that I miscounted how many it was. Chat, I hear.
Leave it.
Thanks for keeping me honest, though.
Chat will definitely keep us honest, no doubt.
Right. So, I mean, Diva can do obviously some really great things here because of the mobility, because of the high-low potential.
Yes, sir.
We saw double shielding coming out yesterday from teams that were reluctant to do it, and it ended up working in their favor. And we had probably one of the best full hold wins ever in CGL history on a 0-0 hold last night with the Bastion and one rat to rule them all. So that's become a part of our lore now.
That was one of the most interesting rounds of Volskaya I'd ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen Volskaya Industries go 0-0. That was quite the defense coming out of both teams. I doubt we'll see that staunch a defense here. Just the level of aggression coming from Tidal. I think that this one's definitely going to be a little bit more high scoring. Just a reminder of our hero pools here in our last day of week number 4. As you will not be seeing any Zarya, Pharah, Symmetra, nor the fave Brazilian. No Lucio here, most importantly here in week 4. And man, has that thrown a wrinkle into the compositions of seemingly every team we have seen this week.
Ready for battle.
As we get started here in the back half of this series, we did get a little bit of the side swap, so Saga moving over to the red jersey, starting us off on the offense. Looks like we got some substitutions coming in here. Billy, who do we have subbing in coming into map 3?
Okay, so in for Saga Genesis, Myth Goose is coming in on the healer role for Lucy Willis. Lucy needing a little break here, a cigarette break, as she told me. So yeah, Pickle's gonna come out for Blade. Cello's gonna come back in for Semblo that replaced him on the second map. So hopefully Cello can do a little bit better work here on this map. And then Diva has come out for Deep One, and Sebastbot has gone over to the off tank role here on the defense. Deep One coming in as a main tank substitute. So this is a bit of a little bit of a dynamic shift for Tidal. Sebastbot not leading the charge on the Reinhardt, instead opting to play our favorite mech Korean.
As we are getting Saga attacking in here, coming in from the left-hand side with their Arisa Sigma composition, pressing down on forklift a little bit before rotating back around to this far left-hand side. They're just going to start poking and prodding from there. They're going to have to keep an eye out for Lord Nitwick up on the high ground. And Cello coming back in, making his presence known immediately. Finds first kill here on map 3. Lord Nitwick throws a nice mine in, taking out the Zenyatta on the other side. And looks like this attack's going to get shut down before it really gets started. What do you make of the support line coming out from Saga here on this attack?
I mean, I shake my head a little bit, but we actually saw it work for a couple of teams over the past matches that we've cast. So I mean, if Zapdos can start clicking heads and getting that Discord orb, and they start focusing down the Discord orb, I think then he provides the value that is required to run the Omnic Healer. However, Myth Goose on this on the Baptiste, you know, I don't know if it's enough healing. I question if it's enough healing, but we've seen it work. So if they keep the heals up, if they focus down the discorded target, then I think they win this.
Yeah, definitely going to take a decisive strike. They need to get the first blow here. Lord Nitwick going to go ahead and open up with our first ultimate. Tire coming out, as it's going to go right over to the top of him.
There you go.
Typical's down. Orisa back to spawn with you. Main tank gone here for the attacking team in Saga. They're beating a quick retreat, Sans Orisa, and trying to get the heck out of there.
Lord Nitwick does get a good exit kill onto Myth Goose, though. So, okay. I've got a disconnect here as the fight has do with these 4 ultimates or 3 ultimates online, almost 4. As we go back in a minute 38 on the time bank. Tidal so far has been doing a really good job of keeping them at bay, but the Gravitic Flux, I think, is going to have something to say about that.
Just closing thought there on Echo coming in next week. We're not going to see any McCree. We're not going to see any Widowmaker, so it's going to be an interesting time. But here in the now, we have Dragons and Blizzard, as well as that Flux and an Amp Matrix online here for the attacking team. Saga pathed up to the high ground here, so they're looking to come back in. Tibble did go back on over to the Orisa. They're just going to bunker up, see if they can give time for Hanzo to get some kills here. They're going to go and throw Amp Matrix down in that endeavor. Looked like Cello was trying to come flank, but he gets picked off. Zapdos finding that kill. Saga picking up that flank handily. Now they're going to go ahead and press down onto the point. Good wall trying to divide up the front line. There is an Earthshatter coming out, but Transcendence there. Blizzard on the field as well, and this just looks to be Saga commanding point A on Volskaya. Minimal resistance coming through from Tidal.
I mean, you could throw the tire in there, but I think Nitwick is going to do the... Oh, he got picked off leaving. Cello, what are you doing? You're on point.
Yeah, Cello's going to go stall out for as long as he can. Doesn't last long. Gave Tybolt some of that supercharger back.
Yes, he did. He gave him about 20% there.
Yeah. So, you know, just aiding to the snowball factor here. I mean, do you think they can run this over?
Bomb, Blossom, and Riptire with a amplification matrix. Now, I think that they already invested the Blizzard. They already invested the Transcendence as well. So I don't think this is snowballable, if that's even a word. I just made it a word.
I like it.
Snowballable. Yeah, it's huge. It's hugely. But anyways, Nitwick is in prime position to really decimate this team. You've got 2 minutes 30 seconds going here. You've got to get something started.
The defense is just looking really passive right now. It's going to take some dragons to open things up, thrown across the point. Tire coming out from Lord Nitwick here, so he's going to circle all the way around back. See if he can drop down onto the bulk of him. He does indeed. Finds one. Samus comes through with a big Diva Bomb as well, picking off two. And it looks like the patience of Tidal does serve them well as they hold on here. About 2 minutes on the clock left for Saga.
I'm gonna say clip it because you have to watch what Lord Netwick did with the tire. He was trying to jump it up, and he ended up having to go around the back. The follies of this tire today. I'm sorry, I'm transfixed upon it because it's hilarious what I'm watching. But he does get the kill on the slice on the Hanzo there. So I mean, he did a good job. Got the verified kill there. Big bomb coming out from Sebastbot though. That was a really huge bomb. They needed that to stop the pressure coming into them.
Now we're going to get Supercharger to open things up. Ant Matrix online for the attacking team as well. Slice coming through with two big picks. Putting him through with the Supercharger as well as that Ant Matrix. And man, holy cow. Saga taking great advantage of those two DPS ultimates, those two damage enhancing ultimates, should I say. And light up that feed red, move right onto the objective. And just one swift strike there. Tidal coming up with a good kill to take out the Doomfist as he was trying to come back and contest. Deep one charging back into battle. He's throwing a mean Earthshatter down as they look to equalize and level this playing field. 2 kills, I think 3 kills coming through on the side of the defense. And Tidal might just be able to stabilize here. Sebas coming back on the Wrecking Ball, picks up one. Lord Nitwick finds one on the Doomfist as well. And the defense will hold, but not before giving up 2 ticks.
Yes, but still, I mean, they didn't give the full 2 points away yet. Slice had enough of it and really just went into it. And then Cello bringing in the Death Blossom into the middle of an amplification matrix and got absolutely neutralized and liquefied within seconds of pressing Y. So head-scratching DPS ultimates coming from Tidal at points tonight.
Now Saga coming back in. They've got several ultimates in their belt to work with. Nothing here for the defense. This could be a great opportunity to finish this thing off. Blizzard here used first. Diva not quite able to escape. We'll see if they focus her down. Transcendence thrown into the mix. They may want that one back. Dragon's thrown over the top of it as well, and I think they've spent their ult bank way too early, and now they're down 1 here. They did get the pick onto the Diva. Big charge coming through. And Tibble going off the side, or at least slammed into a wall. Lord Nitwick finds an important kill as well. And now the defense here have managed to stabilize. 69% is all Saga is going to find here on the back of Volskaya.
I'm not sure what happened to the gravitic flux there.
I heard it go off, but I didn't see anything.
Well, he either he got booped when he did it, and when he confirmed that he was going to go ahead and lift people in the air, it went to the complete right side of the point here and picking up nobody. So, yeah, I mean, that one was a little bit wonky, and I think that was induced by somebody on Tidal. I didn't see who had done it, but I did see that. But, you know, they bent and they did not break. And I think that it's a bit difficult because, you know, the disconnect from Tidal, I think they could have taken it even faster because they had the supercharger online. That's a big ultimate that's not fast charging that they lost in the middle of the fight. And I think that the time bank probably would have been a lot bigger had that DC not occurred.
Yeah, I can't help but wonder if that extra supercharger wasn't the difference maker there. I must agree, but also a little bit you know, what I felt was a great weathering of the storm here from the defense. Tidal able to just kite back, survive the onslaught of ultimates initially on that final engagement, and then pushed back in with minimal losses. And a great retake coming through, especially from the tank line there on the side of Tidal Tsunami. And now they're going to go to the offense, bringing us the double shield and Ryan Orisa. Lord Nitwick back onto the Junkrat. Chillo going over to the Ash, though. What do you make of this pick, Billy?
I think she's looking for range. I think she's looking for splash damage. I think it's double splash damages going in here with the dynamite and the grenades. But then also 2 main healers in Ana and in Bay Area. Bay Area playing on the very trusty Moira. I think they're going to try and deny healing here with the Ana.
They had the Soldier and the Torbjorn as well here for Saga trying to defend. Soldier was up on the high ground, went back to rejoin his team as Tidal slowly makes their way onto the objective. The Moira and the Reinhardt pushing up, gaining some ground there inside a box. And you can see Lord Nitwick has moved up onto the high ground, trying to put some spam damage down into that cubby hole where Saga is planting their feet and trying to hide. So far, both teams just staying in their respective corners as the spam damage being laid down. Little check and bounces coming through on both sides. But now shields breaking here for the defense. All right, Arisa shield coming back up. You can see Tidal slowly implying chokehold, slowly moving closer and closer here. Trying to build some ultimates. Oh, Chillo goes down. Great opening pick here on the side of the defense as they've managed to already eat over a minute off the clock. Coalescence coming out on the other side. But Slice finding his second kill. Now, we're going to get the nano boost on to Samus as they look to push in here, see if they can move forward. Tibble gone down, and I think they're trying to take advantage of the situation. But I worry that their losses have already been too great. Will they choose to invest the supercharger and stay in this fight? That's my question right now, Billy.
I don't think so. I think you back out and you get everybody together, and then you go in again as a solid 6. You're going to have tire, so this is going to be a damage boosted tire with the use of the supercharger. Also, if Blade lands as a nice nano or a nice anti-nade into the mix, that could do a lot of damage.
Well, we did get that tire coming out on the side of the offense. That found one. Supercharger used as well. The front line is pushing back up into their respective corner. Looks like Saga's kind of backed out here, trying to claim some space. They threw the Molten Core over to the point in that endeavor, but they've lost their Orisa, they've lost their Torbjorn. Lord Nitwick has looped around over to the off angle and has found some success over here. Taking out a little bit of the equipment and just trying to slowly enforce the chokehold here. As they move on to the objective, Coalescence thrown into the mix here from Tidal. And it looks like they have managed to take control and command point A. Here comes that third tick on the board. Point up there as well. But a lot of ults built up here for the defense, and they're prepped to put a wall up on point B.
4 minutes and 10 seconds going into Volskaya point B is not a bad amount of time. I think that you may want to have had the Molten Core back. I don't know exactly what they were going for with that, but that's okay. I mean, he seems to be getting it pretty rapidly. Now, on the other side, you've got Nano Boost again. You've got another Shatter ready to go. And Sebastbot halfway to a Supercharger. So I think that this is going to be a game of patience for Tidal. You can't overcommit to what's going on here. You've got to be ready to go in and be able to take what you want, but minimize your losses.
Saga's going to open up with Supercharger as well as Gravitic Flux. Flux finds 2. Lord Nitwick does answer back with 1, but he drops to a headshot from Zapdos. And the defense of Saga, using only their tank ultimates, does manage to hold here. I was worried about it for a second. Supercharger under that bridge didn't seem to find much value, but indeed in the end, they emerge victorious in that fight.
Yep, and I mean, now that you've gotten the Molten Core out again, Urbro's going to pick up the Australian here and go over to a Junkrat of his own.
I like that.
So,
yeah.
I like it. I like the spam damage.
Well, and the defense opting to kind of stay up on the catwalk surrounding the objective with Tybalt down on the Orisa, just maintaining the low ground, maintaining point presence. And so Tidal's going to have to find a way to clean off this high ground, unless when they run in, they're just going to be surrounded with damage. Looks like they're opting to go around to this far left side. I think they sent the Hanzo sent up to the high ground to try to clear this thing off. He's using Storm Arrows, trying to take down Soul Eater. Soul Eater right there with the kinetic grasp. So far, not being dissuaded. Okay, he's going to go ahead and jump down, rejoin the rest of his group, and we did get Ant Matrix coming out on the side of the defense as well. Looks like the offense in Tidal did stall out a bit here as Reinhardt had gone down during that fight, and they're just going to reset.
Now, all it's going to take, and I like it's very disjointed, but I like what they're doing. They're not going to allow one ultimate to wipe them all out. So, but it's going to take just one. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's a pick right now. An unfortunate falling off of the map. You go in on this.
Yeah, Lord Nitwick has flanked around from the outside. I wonder if it wasn't an errant mind that actually sent the soldier down to his death.
Shatter!
And now Shatter coming through as Nitwick on the flank angle, and Saga just caught in the middle like a bad sandwich. Now it's going to be Slice coming back in with the tack visor, but he just hurls himself onto the objective. and a hopeless endeavor immediately dispatched of ball trying to swing on the point, but gets charged right back out. And that is going to be Tidal quickly capturing point B and taking a 2-1 lead here in our match.
I mean, they were patient with their ultimates right there. And, I mean, they absolutely went nutty. Once Slice fell off, it was go time. And they actually, I think they channeled through me and heard me say, go! And they went in there and they got it done. And, I mean, goodness gracious, that was a fast little take of Volskaya point B. They stacked their ultimates in just the right way. I hate to say it, but, I mean, it was just the perfect charge. So, yeah, that was good work from Tidal. I think the DC. Yeah. I think the DC. This is a different game if the DC didn't happen with Tibble. So, man, I hate to see it. But you know, as we say, you know, things happen in Overwatch for a reason. And if you press your buttons the wrong way and you go off the map or you fall off the map trying to get into a better position, it really ends up hurting your team. Didn't see what happened. That's the thing. So as we switch sides here, I'm going to get the lobby in order, and then I've actually got to get to my own match. It's starting in 6 minutes.
No worries. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come cast with me, even though that you've got your own personal match coming up. That's, dude, poggers.
Poggers,
Billy grinding. Let's get some smiling Billies in chat coming through with the grind, putting up the cast and then going right into competition. You gotta love it.
It's how I roll.
Well, certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, we knew this was coming up. Just looked out. I looked out at the clock. I'm like, oh crap! I got to go get warmed up. I got to get on my team. I've got to get in the lobby. It's like, wow.
Billy's got things to do.
Billy got to go. But I will. I'll get the lobby set up.
I'll try to hold down the fort. We're gonna miss you. The cast will not be as good from here on out. I'm just warning you now, viewers. Just warning you now. But
that's a lie, and you know it.
I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere, friends.
Okay. Let's see. And I will give you the control of it once I get all this poo done. There we go.
Well, I guess that means I'm gonna have to, get in a place where I can talk to captains and stuff. They're gonna be trying to make subs, and I'm over here just changing score lines.
Oh no. Oh, I'll take care of the whole lobby for you before I leave. Don't you worry about that.
I'm already anticipating a map 5. I'm just already anticipating a map 5. I think we're heading to Lijiang. From what I can see here, Saga cannot be happy about the result there on Volskaya Industries. They're going to come out on Route 66 absolutely on fire. I can already feel it in my bones, but Tidal, hoping to not make that happen, hoping to not let that happen, should I say. And they've got a full wind of full sails with the wind at their back. Tons of momentum coming into map 4. We take a look at our map pool screen, give you a little bit of a rundown. I threw these nifty colors up here coming into today's match. I hope you like it there at home. I thought it gave it a nice little touch. Just always trying to improve. We're always growing and grinding every day around here. So, always looking to make things better. Try to provide the most polished, high-level production that we can for, just a couple of gamers sitting around. We do our best. But yeah, Route 66
I'm going to try
will be
make this easier on me.
Oh yeah, no worries. Route 66 will be your escort map. And this could be actually a good map for the Ash, for the Hanzo. I expect to see a lot more of that here as we're heading into map 4. Of course, you do have a lot of high ground to work with, especially on the first 2 objectives here. I'm also anticipating seeing a lot more of the Diva as we head into this match. What I think, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say who has had the better Diva so far today, but I'm giving the edge to Saga in that regard, actually. Although Double Shield seems to be winning so far in the compositional matchup. It's just so hard without that Lucio to get Ryan Diva into position.
Yeah, I mean, it looks. I'm having. By the way, I'm having anybody that's not in the match leave the lobby right now to make it easier on you, Bullskunk, because I don't want you to have to do absolutely everything by yourself. So I'm trying to make this as easy as I can on you. God, that's.
Look at all those Billies in chat. Look at all those Billies in chat. That is amazing. You guys are so awesome. God, I love this community so much.
I love
Fantastic.
You guys.
Oh, it's well deserved. Well deserved. Big poggers for Billy.
Oh. Okay, now I'm going to be embarrassed for a little bit. Okay, I've got to. Is everybody leaving, please? Yes, go. Bye.
Try to make life easy on us.
I'm trying to make life easy on our favorite resident skunk.
Well,
as
we could go back into talking about week 5 here. Let me pull up my notes. Because that will start tomorrow with the Echo coming into play as we were talking about earlier. Week 5 is going to be very interesting. We got a great map pool lined up. I was very excited when I saw the map pool here. That's what I'm looking for as we speak. Looking for my lists. I got all kinds of notes here. Just so many notes. So many notes.
Okay, buddy. I think I've got your lobby set and ready to go.
Oh, you're the best. You're the best.
Other than captains and coaches, that's all you have for your subs. So I think that they're going to run out with this as it goes.
No worries. No worries. No, I appreciate all your hard work here today, man. Go do your thing. Good luck in your match.
No, thank you. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to give one more thing before I go. I've got to give you control of this.
Oh, yes, please.
That you probably need that.
That would be helpful. That would be helpful.
Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do that. Okay. You've got ownership of the game. Have a good rest of the match. Please let me know, chat. Somebody send me a DM once the end of the game is done. Please DM me on Discord. Let me know how it goes, because I really want to know what the end of this match is, because it's been a cracker of a match. Lucy and Pickles, I love you both. Love both your orgs, and I will see you guys later. Deuces, guys.
We'll see you later, Bill. Confirmation set. Start button pressed. Let's get into map number 4.
Traveling to Route 66. Initiating match.
All right, we did get a side swap. So Saga Genesis starting us off on the defense here. We head into map number 4, and they're looking to tie things up here in our first series. We will have a second series here in this doubleheader Tier 4 matchup coming up right after this match. It'll start at 9 o'clock Eastern. May have a little bit of time for a break and a reset. But hopefully I will see all your smiling faces back here for that. But this one's not done, friends. Like I was saying in the pre-map, I think Saga's going to come out angry here, as they are bringing us a little bit of the Orisa Sigma with the Torbjorn and the Hanzo to put the hurt down. Coming out with the Brig to accompany that Moira. Keep the team topped off and standing, and it looks like they're just going to hold on the top of Big Earls here. On the side of the attack. Looks like we're getting to the Rhine Diva, as expected here, coming out of Tidal. Putting Cello back on the May, Lord Nitwick back on his Junkrat. And they're just doing a slow push through. Looks like Nitwick coming through low tunnel, trying to see if he can find an off angle. At the very least, he has now scouted that defense, is up on the high ground. X-Blade over here on the Zenyatta once again, Bay Area on the Moira, so a little bit more healing this time around as opposed to the Baptiste that we were seeing there on Volskaya. Torb turret, play some of that interesting off angle. They're going to have to acknowledge it at least. Okay, Nitwick is going to take it out, giving them a little bit more room to work underneath Big Earls. Man, this is always such an interesting engagement. I feel like the fight actually breaks out before it's visually apparent. Both teams vying for a position here. You can see Slice up at the top left-hand corner, throwing some arrows down, seeing if he can find Nitwick on that Junkrat. But so far, Tidal doing a good job of staying out of that LOS, just staying underneath. but the contest is there. The tank line close enough to keep that cart from going anywhere, and we're at a little bit of a Mexican standoff. Oh, D.Va tries to fly up. Eats a rock to the front of that mech. Sent right back down. As it looks like Tidal getting a little bit impatient here. Not in a bad way, just ready to get this fight started. Yeah, D.Va's going to go ahead and move up to the top. Take down Tybalt on the Orisa. Everos down as well. 2-man advantage here for the attacking team as they're looking to slowly press this cart around. See if they can get the container that held Echo to its final resting place, though Echo now free, and she will be flying high here on these maps tomorrow. D.Va now going up, trying to dislodge the remaining members of Saga off of that defense, but here comes the Dragons the other way. Coalescence thrown in from Tidal. Tyre thrown into the mix as well. 2 kills coming through both the hands of Lord Nitwick. Make that 3 here for Lord Nitwick as he cleans up the Moira on point. And that should be a point on the board here for Tidal after a little bit of cleanup. They're going to get these big metal doors open and head right on in. I liked that conservative push coming through. They were just waiting around, making sure to stay out of the LOS of both the Torb and the Hanzo. You can see Slice not really able to get much done, only 43%. Well, I say that. He'd throw Dragons over the mix. He's 43% towards the second Dragons. So, you know, maybe I correct myself there a little bit. But still, nevertheless, not finding the picks was my initial intention. Now, Gravitic Flux coming out from the defense. Maywall there. Probably going to deny much follow-up onto that Flux, despite the fact that it found 4 members. Supercharger coming out on the side of the defense as well. But Esebas coming up with first kill here as we round the corner of point B. And they're just slowly pushing this cart around. So far, not much contention coming through from Saga on the defense. Everos is going to fall as well. And now, Slice with minimal health with a lone DPS. He's going to push in, get the kill on Lord Nitwick, but he falls to the mine in the process. And this defense from Saga crumbling on point B in a lightning fast time. There's going to be over 5 minutes on the clock if Tidal can't get back here and contest here at the back of this objective. No, they're not going to make it in. Okay, no, about 4.5 minutes on the clock here for Tidal as they're pushing through. Both DPS ultimates will be online for this next engagement. Earthshatter available as well, but they are running into 2 support ults on the side of Saga. The Saga is going to get planted here on the first corner of point C. I anticipate we'll see that rally to start things off. Coalescence will be thrown in early. How will Tidal weather this storm? Actually, Dragon's coming out first. Tyre thrown in the mix on the side of the defense. Transcendence coming out from the defense as well. Tyre does fine too, but now they are sans that big support ultimate. Do they have enough wind in the sails, enough ammunition to push this thing home? Lord Nitwick says think so, as he finds 3 kills after the 2-man Tyre. Big 5K coming through for Lord Nitwick here on this final push, as they're looking to get 3 points on the board with plenty of time to spare. Blizzard coming out over that left-hand side. Earthshatter thrown into the mix, but fortified there from Tybalt. Nevertheless, he's going to fall to Lord Nitwick, and that thing sails home. 3 points on the board, 3:31 on the clock. Tidal putting it through with ease here on Route 66.
Initiating match.
What a great attack. Nitwick, I think you heard us, man, as you have definitely upped the ante with your tires here on the back half of this series. Great 2K to open things up there. Follows through into the back line, circling around to that far right side, completely dislodging the defense. And great individual performance coming through from Lord Nitwick on the Junkrat. I'd also like to point out that Zenyatta getting a lot of value there. The Discord orbs coming in clutch. Tidal doing a good job of chasing them down, following up and using that as their homing beacon of who to focus next. And it seemed to work out well. Now Tidal going on the defense here. Hoping that that great push is enough for them to take the 3-1 victory in this series. Looks like they're going to bring the Reinhardt D.Va once again. No change in the DPS lineup. In fact, our only change on the side of Tidal Tsunami is going to be X-Blade going over to the Mercy, bringing that res in here for their defensive hold.
Stop the Payload.
On the side of the offense, Reinhardt Sigma coming out of Saga. As gates are open, Saga's attack has begun. We are going to get the Reaper May in the attack department, trying to put the hurt down here for Saga Genesis. Maywall coming up, splits the Reinhardt up from the back, and he gets charged and deleted immediately. They're going to try to get the res off. I can't believe it, they got the res off. I didn't think there was a chance of that thing coming through. Somehow Bay Area able to keep their Mercy alive through that resurrection, get the main tank back on the playing field. But yet another crimp, fantastic wall coming up from Eberos. This time, Saba's able to stay alive. Earthshatter coming through Bay Area does drop, but not much else found underneath that ultimate. Slice finds himself a pick as well, and Saga with a great head of steam here, pushing into point A, as they're going to chase out the remaining members of this defense. Slice coming up on, not too far away from a Death Blossom. Looks like we'll actually get the support ults up here first here for Saga Genesis. We do have Tyre and Coalescence available here for the defense. And Sabas getting that Earthshatter online as we speak. Tyre to start things off, coming from the top. Tyre finds 3. What a fantastic rip Tyre coming out of Lord Netwick. You did hear us, bud, and you have up to the ante, raised the bar. Sabas coming up with a nice fire strike kill there to close things out. And to make sure Saga cannot get that point on the board so easily. Minimal ult investment as well coming through in the defense. Nitwick really showing up here in the back half of this series. Now Saga coming back in, much closer to those DPS ultimates I spoke of in that previous engagement. Zapdos with that amplification matrix on the line. Death Blossom online as well. As Saga passing around through the inside of Big Earls, they're going to drop out right underneath the entire composition of the defense. And here comes the Gravitic Flux picking up that entire composition, slamming them back down. Will the follow-up be there? Dimwidow's going to go ahead and throw that bomb onto the point. Soul Eater could not find the shield in time. And he's going to go down. Everos is going to toss the Blizzard into the mix. Shelos is coming out as well. It's a cold, cold turn here on Route 66. Ice in the desert, but no deaths coming through. Tidal actually does fall eventually under the weight of that ultimate. Both Mays go down. Slice trying to throw his Death Blossom in the mix. It takes out the Mercy, but not much else as the hero play. Not enough to find the rune necessary. And the defense sending Saga packing here once again. Saga coming back in with Earthshatter, still holding that Ant Matrix as well. Not much else to speak of, but they are running into so many ultimates, and they're running out of time. 65 seconds on the clock. And they've got Coalescence, Earthshatter, and a Riptire to get through before they can find the backup point A. Does look like Saga's passing it up through the high ground this time, rotating all the way around. No change out of the defense of Tidal Tsunami. Rock coming through, somehow makes it through the shield, finds the Diva, but heal orb there. Everybody topped off and healthy here on the side of the defense. Ant Matrix coming out as well, but here comes the Riptire in response, trying to go down to the lower level, take Slice and Tibble down. Main tank gone, Reaper back and spawn, no more shotgun damage. As it looks like Eberos on the point, trying to make something happen, but you're running out of time, friends. Why are you investing Gravitic Flux? You don't have the follow-up, you don't have the reinforcements here, and you're running out of time to boot. Soul Eater is going to drop. Lucy falls as well, desperately trying to keep the tank alive like any good healer should, and gives her life in the process. But now you can hear the suspenseful music building. You can see the time dwindling down, and the hopes of Saga dwindling with it. As we do get Slash using that Wraith form to touch, but there's a Coalescence there waiting for him. Eberos finds a similar fate, both DPS down here for Saga. Now the tanks throwing themselves onto this objective, trying to make something happen. They go down. Now it is just the supports left standing. They won't last long. And this is going to be Tidal Tsunami taking Route 66 in a 3-1 victory here in today's matchup.
Victory. Play of the game.
Lord Nitwick turning things around here on map 4 with a great tire, a great 5K later in this matchup as well. Big plays coming through from the Junkrat. What a way to finish it off. We may have doubted you early, my friend, but I don't mind admitting when I am wrong. And you turn around with 31 eliminations, 70% kill participation there in map 4 to give your team the victory. Once again, Tidal Tsunami coming through with their first win of the season with a 3-1 victory over Saga Genesis here today. Try to get my map screen updated, get this all nice and pretty for you. I like my colors. I think the colors add a little something there. There we are. Oh, your score is a little off. Nevertheless, you can see all the Tidal logos there, rounding things off, coming back from a 1-0 deficit early, bringing it all the way back to a 3-1 victory. And a well-deserved win in the column there for Tidal Tsunami. Was indeed 0-3 there at the end. And I think after all is said and done, your player of the match has to go to Lord Nitwick. Yes, sir, we're turning it around. He started off so rough and then dug deep, really bringing it back. And I believe I am going to give it to him here today as your player of the match. Well, forgive me, there's now a Discord channel showing up where Billy's camera used to be, so I don't want to show that on stream, so I'm just going to keep my cameras off here for now. But that is going to go ahead and conclude the first match of this doubleheader. Again, stick around, got some Tier 4 action coming at you right after this. Danny DeFito taking on Gliding Chimpanzees. And that one's starting up in about 15 minutes. The conclusion here, Tidal once again with a 3-1 victory. Well, big props to both teams. Really appreciate all the participation. Couldn't do it without them. Big thanks to Chef Billy out there for showing up here, even though he had a match to go to. Still showed up, put up a fantastic cast. I have such a blast. Just feels like there's a big void here now without him to give us all of that insight, to give us his fantastic knowledge and wisdom. Certainly appreciate it. And appreciate all you at home hanging out with us here today. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the support from the community. It means the world to us here. Well, I'm going to go ahead, take a bit of an intermission while I set up for our second match. Y'all remember to wash your hands, flatline this virus. Let's get rid of this thing. Look out for each other in game and out. I'll see you back here in about 15 minutes.